Hi, Preeti. I'm Preeti, and I'm an older and wiser version of you, little wiser version of you. I think we're very similar in what we value and in our beliefs and what we want out of life. Like you, I enjoy movies, music, art, and reading. I enjoy good food. I enjoy the company of people, of friends, and family. And I think we're on common ground on those things. I have a BA honors degree in economics from Lady Shri Ram College, and I went on to do an MBA from XLRI in Jamshedpur. And currently, I'm chairwoman and an erstwhile CEO of the Insights Division of Kantar. Before this, I was CEO of LMRB in Sri Lanka, and I've worked in advertising, consulting, consumer insights on the agency and on the client side. So I've actually built up 4 decades of experience in advising clients on a spectrum of across a spectrum of industries, consumer-based industries, uh, and on consumer-led marketing strategy, on branding, communication, and most recently on sustainability. I'm also an independent director on several boards. So there's a lot that I've learned and I think achieved over the years because I'm seen as a thought leader, a trusted advisor to, and as a result-oriented business leader with a strong record of performance in highly competitive environments. But in hindsight, however, I think there are some things that I wish I had done differently. I wish I had moved out of my comfort zone more often because every time I did that, I grew both personally and professionally. I wish I had taken people decisions faster, and I wish I had taken better care of my health. I also wish I had found time to pursue my interests and hobbies more diligently. But that's a wish list. I think in retrospect and in hindsight, I've had a good I've had a good 40 years. So, your mama and your daddy buy many things for yourself, for you, and for themselves, like clothes, toys, food, soap, shampoo, cool drinks, ice cream, all the things that you like. What I do is to make sure that you and your mama and your daddy, whatever you buy, is safe and that they are things that you like. So all the people who work with me, they will ask you, or they will ask your mom and dad, and your friends and their friends and other people in your family, which of these do you like? Why do you like it? How can I make it better? Then we tell the people who make these things, please make it like this. Please call it by this name. Please improve it like this. And please show it on TV in like this. And that's how we make sure that people get the best things to buy. And that's what I do. The first thing is discipline. I think a good leader needs discipline. Uh, if you're to get more out of what you do. The other thing is that you need to take on more projects, take on more responsibility, move out of your comfort zone, as I've been saying. And you have to keep learning. And to keep learning, you have to be a teacher. The best way to learn is to always be a teacher. Uh, learn to listen with empathy and with attention because people can make out whether if you're truly interested in them or you're not. And I think some of the things that I've also learned is that most of the decisions that you will take that will impact you over or are people decisions. They're the most difficult decisions to take, and you have to learn to take people decisions early. There's some decisions uh, you that need time, and some decisions need to be fast. And sometimes not taking a decision itself is a decision. So decision making is a very important part of leadership, deciding which decisions to take, fast, slow, not take at all. And the most difficult decisions, as I was saying, are people decisions, because they are the ones that keep you awake at night. They are the ones that you worry about. But the thing I have learned is that whatever it is, take it fast. Not, I mean, take it early, not fast. You can think about it, but don't procrastinate on people decisions. And finally, the other important thing to way to grow and develop is as a leader is to learn how to delegate. I mean, delegation is not abdication. You have to learn how to uh, let go without really letting go, and without micromanaging. That's a skill that takes a lifetime to learn. And these are, I think, some of the ingredients for growing and developing as a leader. Some traits or qualities that are hygiene. You have to, the person has to be honest, has to be dependable, has to be able to work in a team, etc. There's some things that are specific to our industry, but I think they have a bearing across industries. One is curiosity and eagerness to learn, which is that, why do some things happen? Why do people behave in a certain way? How can I do this better? So this constant need to challenge the status quo, I think, especially in today's time, is an important trait or quality. The other thing that I look for is diversity of experience, of interest and experience. You don't always get diversity of experience, but at least diversity of interest, which is, again, reflected in this willingness to do new things, willingness to go to new places, willingness to learn new skills. Demonstration of that is important for me. Communication skills are important because your ability to articulate and your ability to influence others is an important skill in life, and you need to be able to communicate, whether verbal or written, to be able to do that. uh, Self-reliance, actually small self-reliance, accepting that everything is actually your responsibility. You can't, I remember, and this is something I learned very early in my life. I used to have a secretary who she was very good. And once we were doing one of these offsites, and the trainer was asking each of us, what is you are in this company, what is your role in this company, what is your responsibility in this company? So we were all going, I look after the branch, I look after finance, I look after administration and all. And she said, I can't think of anything that is not my responsibility. I feel I am responsible for everything. And that, that really opened my eyes to the fact that that is how really you need to look at responsibility. And I'm still looking for people who think like that. So these are some of the traits that I look for. They're not always easy to assess in when you're hiring, but I think they make a difference to the quality of the person you hire. There's really only one ingredient, that you have to care for them professionally. You have to care for their careers. You have to care to make them succeed, which means investing time in their success, and giving them your professional time. It's not about remembering their birthdays and their children and spouses' birthdays and names and partying with them, etc. All those are okay, but they wear thin and they come across as artificial if there is no professional concern in making them succeed. And I think really that's the most important. I can't think of any other ingredient that has as much impact as this. Asking, I think it's overrated, and I think it's very difficult to do. I think all things need focus and single-mindedness if they're to be done well. I'm not sure we, as humans, we're built to do three things at a time, and this is particularly relevant in today's time, where in today's multi-screen environment, where everybody, multiple screens are being looked at, and even on one screen, multiple things are being looked at. I think I don't think I don't think it's a very efficient way of working, honestly. I think it's greatly overrated. The first thing is that you have to keep meetings short. I don't have, I think meetings become unproductive after an hour or so. So you need to have multiple meetings, better to do them in a series of short meetings, and also to keep the group small. Either have a small group or you break them into smaller groups. I try to get in a diverse group, different functions, different certainly different genders, etc. And your environment is important. Conference rooms are not the best environment for creative thinking. Um, Time is important. Time management is important, because if you start and you break and you have lunch and all that on schedule, there's much more that you get out of a meeting. And establishing and sticking to some basic ground rules, one conversation at a time, no interrupting, no talking over each other, listen actively, build on ideas. I know these are old ideas, they're not, but it's amazing how we forget it when we have a really energized and engaged group of people. They tend to speak over each other. And as Indians also, we are not used to waiting for somebody to finish talking before speaking. Uh, and it's important actually, if you use visual aids, it helps the meeting, which is that either a whiteboard or Flipkart or something, so that you can put your agenda there. You can actually draw, if you can get people to draw a picture of the challenge that they're facing, or draw a picture of, or sketch the solution, even if it is just stick diagrams. It helps people think differently. And then you need to poke participation from everybody, has to participate. So these are some of the things that summarize, and maybe you can ask people to summarize the meeting in one word, and of course save time for a wrap up, so that there is a, however creative the meeting it is, there is some end point that you reach, or end objective that you have reached. So that's how some of the tricks that I have learned over time on how to make a meeting more creative and more productive.